Hello and welcome to Best Replays of the Week. I'm Luke Neller here with the replays from the week ending 22nd of April. In today's episode, we have light tanks doing some heavy lifting, one indestructible heavy, and two North American replays. Enjoy the show. Today we'll start with a rare North American Magpie flying into battle in their E-75. This standard battle on mines looks pretty even as practically everybody is tier 9. Magpie joins the push for the central hill. He puts a shell into the enemy heavy and his next shot brings the team's first kill. There goes the enemy's only tier 10. Things are well in hand here, but the eastern side could use some support. Magpie heads that way with a pair of teammates. And not a moment too soon. The IS-8 is dead, and the flank is wide open. Here they come. Magpie's first shot goes wide, but it does make the enemy stop and seek cover. What follows is a perfect display of positioning and angling. The enemies have trouble even landing a hit on Magpie, and when they do, it bounces off. And in the end, he has taken no damage, and the enemy force lies in smoking ruins. Another bounce. Magpie's own shot doesn't pen either, and he goes for a ram. He takes a little damage, but it goes much worse for the other guy. Since he's already stopped, it's a good time to take out that T-30. Done. Looks like the WZ from the first clash is still alive. Well, not anymore. That leaves just the T-28 prototype. The E-75 isn't fast enough to get there first, but it's the last shot that counts. The ally in the Lorraine should check his aim before pulling the trigger. Complete. Wow, 9 kills in a flawless steel wall despite all the firepower out there. His only damage came from the ram. Well played indeed. Now let's change the heavy steel for something tiny and fast. The ELC AMX doesn't look like much, but in the right hands, it can be a monster. Arturo Della Vega strikes his little tank in an encounter on Sand River. The Tier 7 battle is fought on the EU cluster. Early on, the defender has a brief career as a scout. 7 enemies spotted, that's probably enough for one match. Arturo climbs the mounting and lets his gun do the talking. If at first you don't succeed, do that. It's probably best to let the tiny out-of-tier tank out of its misery. These early capture warnings mean very little. Arturo stays in the mountain hunting the enemies who dare climb up here. Like that one. Okay, Type, let's do this together. Piece of cake. Looking at the score, there's an uncomfortable realization. Arturo and the Type are all that's left of the team, with 6 enemies left standing. What's more, the opponents are free to capture at will. Arturo keeps to the high ground, and the Type drives out to challenge the first enemy spotted. The Type's battle doesn't go well, and our defender has his job cut out for him. 1 against 6, and the capture is already underway. The first thing to do is get some distance. Looks like the SU is trying to give chase. And then there were 5. Are there more of them out there? Oh yes. 3 more it looks like. Only 2 cappers means there's enough time to deal with these guys first. Dodge! Arturo pounces on the KV before it can reload. The strange thing is that the enemies have stopped their capture from 60%. The next one should be somewhere here. Beautiful. 3 left. The capture is back on. What possessed them to stop earlier? We'll probably never know. In any case, Arturo spots the last free roaming enemy and ends its run. Just the cappers to deal with now. Arturo tries to taunt the enemies into leaving the circle, but they won't make that mistake again. They're looking the wrong way, and the first hit sets the KV-3 on fire. It's in cover, but not quite hidden. Still, there's no shot to be had from here. The TD really shouldn't have rolled out of cover. A crit but no damage. Interesting. The enemies are low on health now, but a single hit from the KV-3 could be fatal. That was tense. Luckily, the KV wasn't ready for him. Arturo retreats and hopes for another ambush kill. No such luck this time. Taking the Dune too fast results in a broken track. The Juro waits out the repair and goes in for the kill. Once again, the enemy is looking the wrong way, but this time his return shot hits home. The EOC can't take another hit. Luckily, the little tank is just too flat to deal with at hugging distance. The Turtle takes his third shot and wins the match. Not quite the traditional defender, but clearing the way to the capture zone was worth seeing. Well played. Kuma is the Scout of the Week, and his tank is the nippy MT-25. The Tier 8 standard battle is fought on Westfield on the EU cluster. Kuma starts from the low spawn. He climbs the eastern slope and heads south for some early reconnaissance. This should do for a while. Two rival scouts are spotted, but Kuma holds his fire for now. Super Pershing, Chaffee, maybe it's time to do some scout killing. The Pershing shows its side, and that earns it a shot as well. No point in shooting the Super Pershing from this angle, but this Borsig is a whole nother matter. Have at you! Not enough power at this range, it's probably time to leave the bush. The AMX dies too fast, but there are other opportunities here. Kuma goes on the attack and pounces on the AMX CDC. Controlling the drift like a stunt driver, he puts a round into the Borsig and accelerates away. The AMX is out for blood. Kuma guns his engine, but can't avoid a hit that sets him on fire. The Borsig dies without getting its shot off. Dodge! This is pure action movie driving! It's almost an anticlimax when an ally puts in the final shell. What a great duel! And suddenly the game is over. The last 5 enemies died in 13 seconds. Victory! An excellent game with great stunt driving. Let's have more like this one, please. Well done, Scouts! The Top Gun of the Week is Duffman. Oh yeah! The party wagon is a T-37 and the fight takes place on Moravanka on the EU surface. Duffman drives forwards and looks for targets. It takes some moments for the battle to get going. Here we go, this is a good skirmish spot. The Panzer IV gets the honor of dying first, and the second kill follows right after. The VK takes some killing. Eventually it catches on fire and burns to death. It looks like the teammate could use some help. Sadly, he doesn't live through it, but the kill tally goes up to 4. Maybe it's time to get some distance. Here's Johnny! The surprise attack nets another kill, and very nearly a second one. It's all going swimmingly, and Duffman goes hunting for artillery. Once again, the enemy is set on fire and burnt to death. Lucky. 4 allies and only 2 enemies left. This feels too easy. It's almost as if things are about to go wrong. The Tog is spotted, and Duffman heads to meet it. An ally falls, but there's plenty of them left. Now granted, a Tog is quite dangerous. Ouch, as we can see. This circling could go on for a while. One of the allies have arrived. Now you die, Tog! That's it for the T1 Heavy, but it did its job. 4 more shots, and the Tog is history. Meanwhile, the enemy Heavy has won its battle, and is just finishing off the last teammates. Looks like it's at full health, and Duffman is running low on shells. Let's do this! 1 shot, 2 shots, and a reply. This tank might not survive another hit. Duffman drives around looking for a way to ambush his opponent. Bad shot there, and just 3 shells left now. Okay, that worked. The enemy isn't ready. Duffman does get a hit, but he wins the match with the last shell. Phew! Literally fighting to the last round here. Congratulations, Top Gun of the Week. The last replay of the day features the Chinese premium light tank Type 64. The driver is Mish the Kish from the North American cluster, and the game is a standard battle on Ruinbergs. Mish is bottom tier. Let's see how he can save the day from there. He heads south, putting the vehicle's impressive speed to good use. The first encounter is a rival scout who receives a couple of whacks. Mish keeps peeking over the central road and illuminating the enemies. The RT doesn't want to die, but here is the scout from earlier. The Kish deals more damage, but he doesn't quite manage to finish the enemy off. Mish spots a Dicker Max providing support fire at a distance and decides to take it out. The assassination is a success. Now that he's behind enemy lines, maybe he can do some sabotage. That T-69 deserves some attention. What else could he find here? An artillery piece, perhaps? Yikes! It seems that the Hummel is a little upset with him. Your time is up, T-69. Death comes for you. The Kish goes looking for the Hummel, but runs into a Tiger instead. It's a dangerous foe, and the Hummel does its worst as well. It's all the same in the end, another dead enemy. Mish races back to the base to save the day. His gun struggles with the heavy armor though, and there isn't much room to maneuver. Finally, a shell punches through. Mish keeps up the harassment, and the Borsig blows up the AT with a lucky hit. Mish cuts the track of the KV-4 and blows up a moment later. Beautiful. 30 hit points left, but all that remains is hunting down that pesky Hummel. And here it is. Mish fires on the move, and the enemy turns to scrap with a single round left to spare. Victory! Excellent play, and with a low-tier premium tank at that. A perfect fit for the Crucial Contribution Award. Congratulations! And that's all for today. Sorry the last episode took so long, illnesses and all that. I will record the next one faster, I promise. Well, try anyway.